Sinulat ko po dito, nakalagay dito, ma-vet ko, redundancy, overlap, prior funding, and correct location. Binanggit din ni Senate President Soto yung kahalagahan ng ginagawa natin dito. We are here in aid of legislation, kaya tayo nag-iimbestiga. Ang tanong ko lang, Ginoong Pangulo, Mr. President, sa gentleman from Cavite, doon po sa text ni Yusek Cathy Cabral na mabet ko yung redundancy, overlap, prior funding, correct location, etc. Nagawa po ba ito dito sa sinubmit na 2026 NEP? Kasi tinitignan ko lang po itong NEP na sinubmit. Sa sariling gana po ng aking pagsasaliksik, napakadami po ng redundancy, overlapping, prior funding, at correct location, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President. Kaya naman po pinayagan natin na magsabit ng errata yung agency, which is the DPWH in this case. Pero hindi tayo bound na sundin lahat yung kanila sasabit na errata, of course, because it is already within the jurisdiction of the Congress to deliberate or examine, analyze the National Expenditure Program. Kaya nga po nakapagsabi ako noon na hindi po pwedeng ibalik yung buong NEP because in the first place, hindi naman po yun budget measure, yun po ay proposal lamang.
Yes.
At binigyan na sa atin ng executive branch at it's up to Congress to make amendments. Ano? But then, kasi masyadong voluminous, minabuti natin na okay, papayagan namin kayo at si Secretary Vince Dizon, sabi niya by September 15, ready na siya na ibalik yung o isubmit yung errata. But the National Expenditure Program remains with us. So, kinurek ko po yun kasi ang sabi ng House, altogether balik yung NEP, which is not allowed. Ano?
Yeah.
Hindi ito against procedure po ito.
Bawal po remand.
Bawal ng remand. Tama,
Okay.
tama. Bawal ng remand.
Thank you, Mr. President. And as I cannot agree more with the statements made by our distinguished colleague. I totally agree. But baka sabihin din po ng mga nakikinig, naisip lang yata ni Joel yan. Thank you for showing it again. Yang naisip lang yata yan ni Joel, no? Kasi yung binabanggit po ng DPWH at doon po sa text message na ating pinag-uusapan, sabi ho, para mabet for redundancy, overlap, correct location and alignment to national priorities consistent dun sa menu. Dun sa NEP na...
Ang tawag po rito, sugar coating.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Para mas magandang tingnan na hindi naman arbitrary.
Kunyari po.
Yeah,
Kasi
kunwari.
gusto kong sabihin at muli, para to put on record, Mr. President, na tayo dito sa Senado, nagtatrabaho tayo. Tayo sa Senado, when we speak, we have receipts. May resibo po tayo. No? For example po, dito sa NEP ng 2026, gusto ko lang banggitin, no? I can name at least 10, Mr. President. 10 double appropriations, no? At overlapping. Siguro, unahin ko yung dun sa Malabuyok, Cebu. Dalawa po yun sa page 1259 at 1259. Pareho po, no? Doon po sa Kapas Tarlac, meron din po dalawa, page 1306 at 1306. Doon po sa Muntinlupa, Sukat, 145, 145. Pareho din po. Lapu-Lapu City, dalawa din po, page 1588, 1588. At ganun din po, doon sa Lapu-Lapu City, tatlong doble ito. So, anim. Anim po yung item, pero halos pare-pareho po, no? I think si Senator Zubiri would also want to look into this. Sa Bukidnon, meron din po 1435 at 1485, page 1435, page 1485. Ito po ay Barangay Road po ito, 50 million and 10 million. So ito lang po yung gusto kong sabihin, Mr. President. No? I wanted to share this because if you recall, Mr. President, distinguished colleague from Cavite, I made this question last time about putting the budget in the NEP. And kayo mismo sabi nyo nga po, it's already been happening and maganda nga po na pinakita nyo to. In aid of legislation, paano ho ba natin ito i-stop, Mr. President, na dun pa lang sa NEP, tila baga hindi na nasusunod yung executive. Dahil kung tama po na pinapakita nyo po ito, inilalako na nga po inilalako na po nila, and chances are hindi lang po kay Senator Soto, sa ibang senador at sa mga kongresista. And if this happens, ang legislator naman, kung makita for example na isang ghost project yung nangyari, tulad po ng nangyari ngayon sa aming lalawigan ng Bulacan, napakadami po, madideny lang po easily nung isang legislator, sasabihin hindi kanya yun at executive, Mr. President. So again, Mr. President, I am here to look into the truth, paano natin na mahuhuli itong mga miyembro ng sindikato na ito na umiikot para gahasain ang kaban ng ating bayan, Mr. President.
Mr. President, merong transparency hub yung DBM, pinutap nila, no? Ang sa ngayon, hanggang NEP lang daw. So I suggested during the DBCC hearing, I think that was the second hearing, na-expand nila all the way to the GAA, yung sa enrolled bill. Ang problema nila, they cannot also dictate on the legislators, meaning both houses, na maging transparent to identify the proponents of the amendments. Kasi kung wala tayong record, wala tayong minutes, wala tayong transcript, hindi talaga natin matitrace. So it's up to us, no, as a body, anyway, collegial tayo, baka pwedeng we set the example in the upper house na kung saan we identify each and every member of the Senate to identify himself na siya yung proponent ng isang particular or several amendments na sinabit sa chairman ng Finance Committee. And we hope sana yung House of Representatives will follow suit. Kasi without the other house, kalahati lang yung effort natin. Dahil kung ayaw rin mag-identify ng mga individual congressmen, kung sa kanilang galing yung amendment, yung proposed amendments, wala rin. Kasi doon po nawiwili, actually. Pero if we can only, make it a point na each and every proponent of any amendment is properly identified, sinabi ko na rin po ito, at least merong shared responsibility. At kung ako yung nag-introduce ng amendment, babantayan ko dapat yung proyekto kasi baka magkaloko-loko, may balik sa akin.
Yeah.
And I hope we can be one in this effort, Mr. President.
I am with you, Mr. President, distinguished colleague from the great province of Cavite. It's just that nanlata ako nung sinabi nyo na at pinaalala nyo sa akin na it takes two to tango, na kailangan both
Definitely.
houses, Mr. President. Because ako ho, for example, Mr. President, perhaps I could be exhibit A, Mr. President, of what has been happening, because easily they can pinpoint anyone na ito project mo, etc. without having anything, Mr. President. While if we are to propose an amendment and say this is my amendment and you defend your advocacy on the floor, then there's no way na pwedeng mag-imbento against anyone here in the Senate.
When I responded to you na it takes two to tango, ang gawin lang natin, let's follow the lead of the Senate President. Kung may nag-offer, i-reject natin. O di isa lang yung nagtatango, hindi mabubuo yung sayaw, hindi ba? But if the legislator being offered to make insertions, nag-bite siya at nagbigay siya, and then sira na yung kamada. But if the senator or congressman would deny such offer or request, then it will not happen, Mr. President. As in the case of the Senate President, he declined, so hindi nangyari. Pero kung nagsabit siya ng 500 million as of now, sabi as of now, for now, sabihin, may karugtong pa yan. Kung humirit pa siya ng, pwede bang another 500 million? Di 1 billion yung naka-insert sa kanya doon. But he declined and he rejected right away. So first off, sa atin na rin magsimula yung initiative. Even if offered, we decline.
And even if it takes two to tango, at least malinis ang konsensya natin at kaya natin sabihin na buhay ang moral
Malinis
issues ng
konsensya
institusyong ito.
Sure ka?
Mr. President,
Sure ka,
I'd like to thank the gentleman for entertaining this representation's questions and query. I pray, Mr. President, na gaya nung sinabi ko po kanina, the past 2 years, mismong ako, Mr. President, nagdududa na kung may mangyayari po dito sa flood control, and I'm glad.
Wag po tayo magduda. Ang panawagan ko nga po, no? Yun yung parang na downer sa atin eh. Pag sinabi, nakarinig tayo ng mga netizens, wala yan, walang mangyayari. Then, na-drag down na tayo sa ganung pag-iisip.
And I'm
But,
saying this,
you know,
Mr. President, because when you run, I told you about it, na I want to win and make sure na may mangyari po dito sa ating advokasya. And the main reason why I'm saying that, Mr. President, is I am a living testimony na halos sumuko na, Mr. President. 3 taon na po ako na nagsasalita ho dito sa bulwagang ito, sa committee hearings, etc. But right now, Mr. President, and I believe that the Lord has sent you in this institution to help us not just ferret out the truth, but come up with concrete solutions, Mr. President. I heard, Mr. President, also just a point of information that the DPWH Secretary will file cases against this Assistant District Engineer.
I told him that, Mr. President, that we will provide the damning evidence. No?
Yes.
Not only here, but this morning he flew to Oriental Mindoro, and he told me last night. And right away, I told my staff, you provide all the information, all the evidence that we have to the staff of Secretary Bin. So when he goes to Oriental Mindoro, tumbok na niya yung pupuntahan niya. And he told me last night, he will do exactly the same thing that he did in Bulacan when he visited. Right away, dinismiss niya yung si Henry Alcantara.
Yes, Mr. President. And other than that, Mr. President, just a point of information, kanina ho binabanggit ni Senator Cayetano, may COA report na po dun po sa mga ghost projects ng Wawaw at ng Sims at ng Diskaya. So, yun lang po. This was the same COA audit highlight report that we subpoena during the first committee hearing of the Blue Ribbon. Thank you again, Mr. President, and I'd like again to congratulate and thank the gentleman from Cavite. I am one with him in pursuing justice, especially for may kababayan si Bulacan. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, next to
John
interpolate
Grilla.
is the gentleman from Pampanga, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, after which will be Senator Erwin Tulfo and then Senator Risa Ontiveros, Mr. President.
Senator Francis Pangilinan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, Majority Leader. May I know if the good senator from Cavite, my co-Caviteño, him being a natural-born Caviteño and me being a naturalized Caviteño,
And also batchmate, 2001, Mr.
yes,
President.
my mista in the Senate, batch 2001, would be willing to answer a few questions.
Willingly, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Lacson. Unang-uno sa lahat, we congratulate once again Senator Lacson for his well-researched part 2 of his privileged speech on and his expose on the flood control projects. And we're thankful that he has very clearly spelled out the possible options and next steps in terms of filing cases, criminal cases against those involved in this massive, unprecedented plunder of government flood control projects. May I know if maybe this will help guide likewise the soon-to-be chairperson of the Committee on Public Accountability, the Blue Ribbon Committee, on the matter of warranties and performance bonds. Because as I understand, I was able to sit down with former Secretary Babe Singson to consult him and to better understand, you know, the lay of the land in terms of this problem of flood control projects gone wrong. That there are warranties as to contract prices under the procurement law, as well as warranties for failed projects. If I may quote, this is the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184, or the procurement law. For contract price and warranties, It states 62.2, for the procurement of infrastructure projects, the following warranty shall be made from the time project construction commence up to the final acceptance. The contractor shall assume full responsibility for any damage or destruction of the works, for safety, protection, security, convenience, third parties, as well as work equipment. And it states 1 year from project completion up to the final acceptance or the defects liability period. So the following shall be responsible, for example, for structural defects. Nakita natin dun sa mga picture na substandard, etc. Major faults, flaws, deficiencies in one or more key structural elements, etc. Contractor is liable for warranties. Consultant, procuring entity representative, project manager, third parties. And the warranty against structural defects for semi-permanent structures is 5 years. So in other words, if the projects were 2022, 2023, 2024, pasok pa siya dun sa 5 years. Building types, concrete asphalt roads, concrete river control, drainage, irrigation canals, river landing. And ang kanyang mga warranty would be 5%, 10%, or 30% depending on the form of warranty and security. Hindi ba dapat based on what we have found out so far, may kilos na ang ating gobyerno para i-enforce itong warranties na ito sa mga napakaraming proyekto na na-uncover natin na substandard o kaya ghost projects.
The bigger problem, Mr. President, is we have a law, but it is not being followed.
Yun na nga.
That is the problem.
Yes. But in this case, hopefully, perhaps during the committee hearings, we can ask the status of whether or not these warranties are now being enforced. Kasi malaking halaga eh.
Very
Third-
good point, Mr. President. We should raise that.
So amount of warranty security should be 30%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by GSIS, for example. It shall be denominated in Philippine pesos. And ito po, isang remedyo, penalties and warranties that the government can run after the contractors. As well as, I think, kung may warranty yan, sino ang mga, is it insurance companies, guarantee corporations?
Yes, meron pong insurance eh. Ang problema, sino yung agency responsible for invoking or implementing yung mga warranties na ito? Eh yun ding agency na corrupt eh.
Exactly, and that's why with the new Secretary of Public Works,
Yes, high
perhaps
hopes, Mr. President.
we can inquire as to how to go after itong mga substandard structures, construction infrastructures of flood control projects and make them pay. Sabi nga nila, yes, baka imprisonment is an option. It will take some time, but perhaps the warranties in the millions will be more immediate, and therefore the monetary punishment will be fast and immediate.
Yes, Mr. President, and probably kung medyo recidivist na, perpetual absolute blacklisting.
Blacklisting, yes, we support that. Kaya dito sa warranties na ito, pwedeng habulin ng gobyerno, ng public works ang ating mga contractor at yung kanilang mga surety companies para makolekta, maihabol man lang ang ilang halaga na nalustay. That would be immediately makaka-recover at masasaktan din itong mga contractor na ito dahil sila ay kahit paano hindi man sila nasasampahan pa ng kaso, eh meron ng mga penalties na pwedeng ma-recover.
Senator Risa Ontiveros is recognized.